I'm Dan Fitzpatrick at StockMarketMentor.com on Saturday, February 22nd. Let's take a look at Groupon. There's a lot to be gleaned from this chart. One, your first loss is your best loss. That's an old axiom on Wall Street. A lot of people don't really understand what that means because they think, is there such thing as a best loss? I'd rather avoid the first loss. This is what that means. The company announced earnings and the stock gapped down and kept trading. Okay, now newer traders, you're going to buy this stock. You look at this, $10 is support. You look at the 200-day moving average. That's a key level too. 200-day moving average is at 972. So you're going to say, you know what? I know. I'm going to buy this stock now before earnings, but I'm going to set my stop at like 970 or so. Yeah, that's the ticket. So what happens? You set your stop at 970. Well, the stock gaps down to below $9. You don't get 970. If you just set a stop, like basically when the stock gets below 970, it's a market order sell. You're going to sell right here. Now, frankly, you're going to be glad you did. But if you set a limit, you're going to be glad you did because the stock kept going down another buck. But if you set a limit order, if the stock gets below 970 or if it hits 970, then sell at 970. Well, then your stop doesn't get triggered here. You're still holding the stock. It's just like any limit order. You place a limit order, you don't get filled, you don't get the stock. You don't sell it, you don't buy it, whatever. So you set your price target or you set your stop at, say, 970. Stock opens up at 9. You're now 70 cents, which is a big percentage below where your stop level is. You're still holding the stock. And now what are you doing? Now you're trading the hope strategy. Hope doesn't work. So should you buy the stock here at 8? I had a buddy of mine call me up on Friday and say, hey, what do you think about Groupon? What do you think? And I said, nah, I don't think it's at a great point where you want to be shorting the stock. And he said, short the stock? I'm talking about going long. Should I buy it on this dip? I would say no. That's what I told him. Let's zoom into, say, an hourly chart and see. Okay, big volume first thing, as you would imagine. All the retail traders rushing to sell. All the floor traders and all the professional money managers rushing to sell too. So who's buying? Not that many folks, which is why the stock continues to go down. So the aggressiveness of sellers is much higher than the aggressiveness of buyers. Well, so far, again, we're just looking at an hourly chart. So far, that aggressiveness is still working on behalf of the sellers because look at the volume. Again, this is an hour chart. Volume of selling actually picked up during the last hour of the day. So if you were buying this right now, by the way, it's okay to buy it. You just need to define your risk. You're saying, well, I think the stock's done going down at $8. Look, that's the max that it went down. $8, I think that's a great support level. Fine. Buy the stock. Buy it at 803. But know this. You're not buying it on any kind of a buy signal. The stock is not acting in such a way that you go, here's my setup. I'm in. It's not doing that. What you're saying is, I just think the stock's done going down enough, and $8 is a time when buying pressure is going to overcome selling pressure, and we're going to get a bounce. Great. You can make that trade. You can set your stop at like $7.95. You're risking 8 cents. If your stop is hit, look, you're basically out at flat. You haven't lost any money. This is the type of trade that those who like to pick bottoms, other than proctologists, this is the type of trade that you can do if you are a bottom picker, if you like to buy this stuff. Because you have very little risk on the trade. So if you're wrong, you're out basically almost for a flat trade. Now this is not I've tried that style of trading and I'm just not very good at it. I'll admit it. I'm just not very good at it. I don't like to make these trades without a buy signal. And see if we can get some, let's see, we'll wait on TC 2000 here. Only for a moment. Okay, here we go. I had to close TC 2000 and then reboot it in order to get this to work. By the way, not a complaint, but if anybody out there works for Telechart, I would appreciate it if you would send me an email, let me know if you're having problems with your software, with your servers or whatever. It would really make my life a lot easier if I knew. So anyway, again, not a complaint. I'm just asking because this is an issue. Enough about that. Okay, even on the 15-minute chart, you know, looks like the stock's kind of trading maybe kind of sideways-ish, but we've still got pretty high volume. So I just don't want to mess around with this yet. I want to wait for an upside move to go long, but even then, I'm telling you, I wouldn't go long. What I would do is I'm looking for a partial retracement. The stock's hit this and this. If it does indeed bounce, I'd look for, let's just go halfway, from 10 bucks, which would be about this level here, from 10 bucks down to 8 bucks, I'd look for a retracement to about 9 bucks. And then you know what I would want to do? I would really be looking to short the stock if it gets up this high. But right now, I just don't see a trade to the long side, but I would not be shorting a stock that's down 22% in a day. So right now, the action on Groupon is to watch it and wait for your entry. Right now, I definitely don't see one to the long side, though if I had to choose between buying or selling or shorting, no question about it, I'd be buying. No question, I would be buying the stock, and I would be buying the stock based on this analysis that I just mentioned. I would be looking to buy it now and put a stop just a little bit below 8 bucks. Like I said, $7.95. If I was buying. As it is, not buying. I'm just watching. I think there's some money to be made on this stock. I just don't quite see it yet. I see it just as a coin toss. If you want to do that, go to Vegas. At least you get comped with free drinks. Okay, members, over to the strategy session. We're spending some time on biotech this week. It's really working well as our usual momentum stocks.